Hello and welcome into the New Orleans Saints pregame report presented by Harrah's New Orleans. I'm Caroline Gonzalez, joined by John DeShazer here in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome as your New Orleans Saints get set to take on the Indianapolis Colts tonight at 7:15 p.m. It's a big night here in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome as the Saints celebrate their 10-year anniversary of their Super Bowl victory over the Indianapolis Colts. It's also another name-worthy thing going on today in the Superdome as Drew Brees approaches the NFL passing touchdowns career leader record. And another thing is the Saints are fighting for the number 1 or number 2 seed in the NFC. JD, a big game last week against the San Francisco 49ers, a big showdown, a heavyweight match as Drew Brees called it, but the Saints did get a little banged up in that loss.
Yeah, lost a couple of defensive linemen, a couple of guys who are starters. Sheldon Rankins at defensive tackle, Marcus Davenport at defensive end, who was having his best NFL season, obviously, with 6 sacks. So that hurts depth. Yes, you have other players, but the quality of that depth is different now.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, the Saints had an outstanding performance against the 49ers on the offensive side of the ball, and they look to mimic that again today.
Yeah, had a fantastic game. Drew Brees with 5 touchdown passes, 349 yards, 29 of 40. A fantastic game offensively. Still felt like they left some things out there, but I don't know a whole lot of things they should be quibbling about when you put up 46 points.
Well, we mentioned earlier that Brees is approaching another record, but it's not about the records for Drew Brees. It's about the team's success.
Obviously, before the season, you're a certain distance away, but then once the season starts, you're just focused on winning games, right? And doing what I need to do as the quarterback of this team to put us in the best position to succeed and to win. And so, with that, I guess the statistics come, and maybe they add up, and then all of a sudden you're close enough to, be within striking distance of some of those things. But really not thinking about it, just focusing on this opponent just like we would any other opponent, making it the most important game of the season, and knowing that we need our best execution in order to be successful, and also just continuing to build. We want to be an ascending team. We want to be playing our best football at the end of the season here, because those are the teams that typically do the best in the playoffs, and I don't think we've reached our full potential yet. I'm still wanting to see that, from all of us. So that's what we're building towards.
Now, Drew Brees also spoke earlier in the week about wanting the team to reach max efficiency and wanting them to hit on all cylinders towards the end of the season.
Well, every game is different. Some games you walk away from and maybe the statistics don't tell the story. I think for me, so much of it is situational football, right? How did you execute with the situations in the game? The critical third downs, the red zone efficiency, taking care of the football, capitalizing on big play opportunities, rushing the football, just being efficient in every phase. I look back on that game, and yeah, we scored 46, but man, there was an opportunity here or there to maybe convert what was a field goal into a touchdown, or we were just on the outskirts of field goal range when maybe one more play could have gotten us, another 3 points, and that would have been the difference in the game. So you always analyze little things like that, and I definitely feel like we can be better.
Now, JD, you spoke earlier in the season about Alvin Kamara and wanting him to do well for the 3rd consecutive season. It's been 2 seasons of outstanding performances for Alvin Kamara, and you hope that he continues that later on in the season, and he's mentioned wanting to do it too.
Yeah, his numbers a little bit down this year, and he knows it. Everybody knows it. I mean, he's not on the same pace. Only 2 touchdowns this year. He had about 18 touchdowns last season, and people expect naturally that you'll continue to progress from that. He's had some injuries this year. Defenses are playing him a little bit differently, obviously. The Saints spread the ball around. There's a wealth of talent on the offense, so he's not going to have the same amount of opportunities, and yet we've seen him be valuable as a decoy. We've seen him show value when he does get the ball, but the touches aren't there as much as they were earlier on last year. But, who knows? Tonight might be that night where he gets more touches.
Now, Alvin Kamara spoke earlier in this week about how he feels the production coming.
Yeah, we have. I think it's just finding those plays and finding the right times to call them, and just executing. It's a lot of execution. We've been shooting ourselves in the foot. We're having a lot of penalties and just a couple of miscues and things like that. So just being on track and being able to stay on pace and stay on plan is huge. And that's I think why we were able to have some success.
Has that been the most bewildering part of it? You guys know what you're capable of, and you've been shooting yourselves in the foot, and that kind of prevents you from being able to do exactly what you know you can do.
Yeah, that's what it's been. We talk about it. I think we say it every week. We haven't played our best game yet, this far into the season. And, to still be able to be winning, I mean, we definitely blessed. Don't take it for granted, but we know we haven't played our best football. So, we just got to limit some of the mistakes.
Earlier in the show, we mentioned that Marcus Davenport and Sheldon Rankins have gone on IR for this team, but the Saints did bring in reinforcements, and they found some in their own locker room.
Yeah, they brought up Taylor Starwood from the practice squad. They signed Noah Spence. They signed another guy, T.Y. McGill, also, but released him, obviously. But Noah Spence is a guy who has been a pass rusher. They feel like he can give some outside pressure. And, of course, Taylor Starwood, they know exactly what he's about because he was on the active roster for much of last season.
But they're also going to look towards Carl Granderson to pick up some of that slack for the defense. Now, Granderson spoke earlier in this week about picking up some of that slack.
Yeah, they mean a whole lot to this defense, but that's what we have practice squad and everything for. The next man just got to step up and be ready. So they was good role models, and I learned a lot from Marcus as well.
Going forward, I know you hate to get increased opportunities this way, but how much are you looking forward to it on the other hand?
I'm looking forward to it a lot. I've been preparing, all season just to be ready because you never know what happened. I hate to see them guys go down, but, like I said, next man up, and, our opponents don't care who get hurt, so you just got to step up.
JD, we mentioned the offense of this Saints team against the 49ers, but the defense didn't have their best defensive showing. Now they were without Kiko Alonso and without A.J. Klein, who they will be getting A.J. Klein back for the Saints team today, but you hope to see a better performance out of the Saints defense today.
Yeah, when you give up 48 points and 500-plus yards, that's not the defense that we're accustomed to seeing from this Saints defense. Even though they got a turnover and also got 3 sacks out of that game, but they simply couldn't get off the field on third down, couldn't get stops, and that's an issue that's got to be rectified.
Absolutely. Marshawn Lattimore also spoke earlier last week about the defense not wanting to give up big plays.
Can't have that happen here, Just because we've been trending up since, 2 years ago as far as defense. It was the offensive team, and the defense stepped up, and, we can't really take no drop off now because it's crunch time. So we need to, keep getting better and just match the offense.
JD, it's something we've harped on for every pregame show here is the special teams for this Saints team. Deontay Harris, Will Lutz, Thomas Morstead, they really seem to hit their stride lately.
Deontay Harris, one of the leading vote getters as a returner for the Pro Bowl. Will Harris, the leading vote getter in the NFC as kicker. They've been fantastic this season. Deontay Harris had a great game against San Francisco, 5 kickoff returns, 155 yards, 2 punt returns for 37 yards. So he gave the Saints a lot of great field position. And Will Lutz has now made 14 straight field goals. He's up to 29 of 33 for the season. He's been fantastic this year. So the Saints know they have strength there. And don't forget Thomas Morstead, obviously. If you're playing the field position game, Thomas Morstead is as good a punter as there is in the NFL. So the Saints have been strong in special teams all season long.
Big game for this Saints team as they fight for the number 1 and number 2 seed in the NFC. You can watch the game tonight on ESPN at 7:15. We'll have your post-game coverage right here on NewOrleansSaints.com or the Saints app. Make sure you're downloading that right now. Or, of course, you can listen to the game on WWL with Zach Streif and Deuce McAllister. We mentioned earlier that today they are recognizing the 10-year anniversary of the Saints Super Bowl winning team. The team will be recognized at halftime. Now, Coach Sean Payton spoke earlier this week to the Super Bowl winning team.
Number one, you're proud of them. It doesn't seem like it's been 10 years, but I think you try to build a program where you're always wanting to see those guys come back. To feel comfortable back in the building. A lot of them will be at practice tomorrow, walk through, and I think it's I think it's a positive to have them back, and certainly to celebrate something like that, is a big deal. So they'll be here tomorrow, and I know I look forward to seeing a lot of them catching up.